Okay, very happy to be joined by Eimear Darcy, who is back for her third pro fight, April 26th, Cage Warriors 188 at the RDS in Dublin. How are you doing today? Just a couple of weeks out from the fight.
Good, yeah, all good. Excited to go.
Perfect, perfect. Um, Obviously the work you've done through two fights so far in your career, just sensational, perfect. When you look back at those two fights now, what are your thoughts and what do you take from that now? You're pretty much a year into your pro career at this point, almost to the day. So what do you take from the work you've done so far?
Um, I think it just shows the level that I'm at only beginning. And it shows as well the power that I have. But even from those two fights, there's so much to build and so much to work on. So that hasn't even scratched the surface of what's possible for the fights to come. So even just from those fights I've taken that like they went really, really well, but there's so much more to build on as well.
Daniela Sanches, the opponent this time out, and you've had a lot of time preparing for her as well. You obviously originally supposed to fight in November in London. What are your thoughts on her coming into this matchup? How much have you been able to see?
Good. Yeah, I can't wait. She's had two fights already. So I know she's had two pro fights. And I know she's quite an experienced grappler as well. So I was really excited to fight her in November. So I'm just glad that it's worked out now that I do get to fight her, and obviously that she gets to fight me too. Because it's not great having to pull out of a fight and for the other person too, because you're looking forward to fighting the person. So yeah, I can't wait.
Also, but it worked out because it meant you could fight in Dublin again.
Yeah, yeah, it has worked out. Like I'll be fighting in front of a home crowd and split that at home. So yeah, but look, I would have loved to have the fight in November as well, but things happen. So yeah.
Yeah, as an Englishman, I'm sure we would have loved to have you in London as well. We would love to make that work down the line one day. I'm at a lot of those Cage Warriors cards in London, so it'd be great to have you on those eventually.
Oh,
But
bye. Great show.
yeah, but of course, for you, getting that hometown fight in Dublin, it's got to be a big deal. And especially since those first two fights, you were on the prelims. Now you're on the poster. You're going to be on the main card. You're a real selling point for this card. How do you feel about that and the trust that Cage Warriors have put into you coming into this one so early in your career?
Yeah, I think they've put like massive trust and belief in behind me. So look, I don't mind where I am. I'm just looking forward to getting in and fighting. So yeah, I just can't wait.
Yeah, on Daniela again, how do you feel she compares to the girls you were fighting before? Do you feel it's a step up?
Yeah, I would take out like any person that I'm due to fight. I always take them as the best that they're possibly going to be. So compared to the other girls as well, I would have looked at the other girls the exact same, or anyone that I fought. Everyone has something challenging to bring. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. She's quite an experienced grappler. So I am looking forward to. But again, I'm sure she is striking as well. So yeah, I'm prepared for the fight everywhere and every way.
Have you had to tweak the preparation from those first two fights to kind of counteract that grappling you think he has? Have you done things differently because of that?
No, I just focus on what I do most of
Yeah.
the time. We don't think too much. We don't focus too much on the other person. Obviously, it's important to look at their style and different things they might bring, but the main focus is on me and what I'm going to bring.
Of course, and on that, like you say, we had that cancellation back in November, which means you've had a longer layoff than you would have liked, I'm sure, so early in your career, when it's important to be active. You haven't fought since July. That's not ideal for you, I'm sure, but in that time you've been able to develop, you've had that development time. What is going to be different about the Eimear Darcy stepping into the cage April 26th from back in July last year?
I'm more technical, stronger,
Mm.
more powerful. And yeah, it's just every single time I get in there, the level goes up um on my end, and that's what you're going to see on April 26th.
It feels like there's been a real shift in Irish MMA lately as well. Obviously, a lot is being made of the 3-0 in the UFC so far this year with Reese, with Kaelin, with Shauna,
Yeah.
um, and Paul Hughes. Huge event for him in Belfast, sold out or near sold out. One of the biggest stars PFL have. Ian Gary's got a big fight coming up. It feels like there's a bit of a resurgence there where maybe in the last couple of years the talent's been there, but it's still been on the way up a little bit, so it hasn't quite been represented on the main stages. Do you feel that there is a bit of a resurgence going on right now?
Yeah, and then like recently there's two other fighters, two other female fighters. Carrie Ann, she's after getting signed to Invicta, and
Yeah.
Kaya after getting signed to PFL. So there's just so many people now that are like starting to move into the pro scene as well. So it's deadly. And there's so many other talented amateur fighters that are gonna start bubbling up into the pro scene as well. So yeah, I think you're gonna see a massive, massive wave.
What was it that first drew you to MMA? Because I was doing some research before we did this, and it seems you were quite active younger, but then only a few years ago you kind of came into MMA. What was it that drew you to mixed martial arts?
It was my coach really. He's the one that put the idea in my head. So I'd been training K1 and I'd been competing in K1 in my gym compound. And then we had kind of talked about my plans after K1 and he had talked about MMA. And then I was like, okay. So then I did a few classes. And once he had said like about MMA, once I'd started, that was it. I just wanted to keep going.
Perfect. What does the rest of 2025 hold for you? Because I know fighters don't like to look past the upcoming fights, but we know Cage Warriors have another card in Dublin later this year. Um, all being well, I'm sure the plan is to be in a big spot on that one as well.
Yeah, I want to fight for the flyweight title. Um, yeah, so the Cage Warriors flyweight title, my next goal after this fight.
How soon do you think you are to getting that? Because obviously Cage Warriors with the women, there's not a massive amount of women in Cage Warriors, but they when there's a star on the rise, they always bring the titles out. So when do you think you would be in a position to do that?
After this fight, yeah, absolutely. I've had two first round finishes. This fight coming up in April. And then after this fight, I think the flyweight title is something that I would like to fight for.
Of course. I've got a quick fire segment here. I'm just going to throw some things at you and just get your response. First thing that comes to mind. Favorite
Okay.
food,
Oh, pizza or burgers?
favorite drink,
Oh, Ribena. I love Ribena.
um, or go-to breakfast.
I make like a Weetabix cheesecake thing, with Biscoff crumbled up on top of it.
Sounds good. Favorite movie.
Jaws, but I'm terrified of sharks. Or the Goonies.
Okay. Um, it's a horror film for you then.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's the only type of film I would watch is Jaws.
Um, favorite TV show.
Oh, oh, I don't know. I get slagged all the time by my coach. I'm really bad with movies and TV shows and stuff. My favorite TV show, Malcolm in the Middle.
Favorite musician.
Oh, that's hard. I don't know. I really like music. I don't know if I have a favorite musician. Yeah, I love music. I listen to lots of people. I'm terrible at this. Um,
Favorite sport. Oh,
MMA.
I thought you were gonna give an answer then.
MMA. Do I pick a different one?
A favorite sport other than MMA.
Not really like that good at with sports. Something I enjoy playing. I don't know. I just train all the time. I like. I don't know any other sports. I used to play football and camogie, but I wasn't great. Um, but yeah,
Or just want to watch. It doesn't have to be one
I
playing.
don't know. Do you know? So I don't really watch many other sports, but I do like. I like if my brothers are watching the snooker. Well, that's not that's not a sport. Is it a sport? I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. No,
It's debatable.
somewhere in between. I think it's very relaxing watching it. I don't watch any other sports. Maybe, but yeah, I don't watch it. I'm terrible at this. I don't watch any other sports.
Okay. Favorite fight. So a favorite fight of your own, and then a favorite fight to watch as well.
My favorite fight of my own was probably enjoyed fighting Sarah Elliott. That was one of my amateur fights. Um, and then my favorite fight to watch. Um, I don't know my favorite. Just a fight with good. I like watching good strikers. Yeah, I like striking fights.
Okay, so who are some of your favorites?
I actually really enjoyed Zhang Wei Li's last fight because I really enjoyed watching the cage work on that as well. So that's probably one of my most recent favorite fights.
So who's your favorite fighter then?
Um, my favorite fighter. This is terrible. I don't know if I have like a favorite. I just like watching fights, but I wouldn't have like a favorite kind of fighter. I like again Zhang Wei Li's last fight was
Zhang Weili. Yeah.
yeah good. I just like the cage. I like
Okay.
watching the cage.
What is your favorite submission to drill in practice?
Chokes. I like rear naked chokes.
Um, who's the funniest person you've met in MMA?
The funniest person I've met. I don't know who the funniest person I've met is. Yeah, no, like just in general in my
In
area.
MMA. Anyone involved in MMA?
I think my coach is quite funny. Yeah.
Best piece of advice you've been given?
The best piece of advice that I've been given is if it's advice from my coach. He would always have chats with us as a team, and just tell us that if we want something, that we can absolutely achieve it once we're willing to put the work in.
Perfect. You can rest easy. That's the last quick fire
Yeah.
question.
Sorry.
That's all right. I messaged you before that I've done a couple of other interviews today. Not the worst one of the day.
I'm the worst at these questions. Anything food related, that's fine. I can answer those. But when you start talking about other sports and fires and stuff, that's you're gonna get awful answers off me.
Yeah, I spoke to, I don't know if you know her, English fighter Lexi Rook earlier today.
No, maybe I know the
Uh,
name.
okay, she's fighting in LFL. Her answers may have been worse than yours, and I'm
Oh,
sure she won't mind me saying that.
that makes you feel a little bit
Yeah,
better.
yeah. I want to thank you for taking the time today, Eimear. Cage Warriors 188 goes down April 26th. Yes, in Dublin. Fight Pass is where you can watch that. And for the people watching, Eimear, give us the hard sell. When yourself, Daniela Sanches, step into the cage, what can the people expect?
Powerful hands and another dominant performance from me.
First round again?
First round, I would no. Look, the hands are going to be heavy, so what round it happens in. But yeah,
And then on the road to the title fight.
on the road to the title. Feel like I'm on the road to the title now. So after this fight, title fight.
Just on that quickly, who do you kind of envision a title fight would be against?
I don't mind. I don't mind. Fight. I'm happy to fight whoever. I think anybody that um they decide to match me up against is a great match for me, and I trust Cage Warriors in the matchmaking. So yeah,
Ian Dean, best matchmaker in the game.
yeah, can't wait.
Perfect. I want to thank you for taking the time today, Emma. Best of luck. Very excited to watch you go to work in a
Thank
couple of weeks.